Balance is a sorcery that costs 1 and 1 white mana, for a measly total of 2 mana. When you cast Balance, each player chooses a number of lands they control equal to the number of lands controlled by a player who controls the fewest, then sacrifices the rest. Players discard cards and sacrifice creatures the same way. If that didn't make sense, basically the lands and creatures in play and cards in hand are brought to an equal amount by sacrificing down to the lowest amount owned by a player, or controlled by a player, if you want to be pedantic about it. So, if you have 2 cards in hand, 0 creatures in play, and 2 lands in play after casting Balance, when the spell is fully resolved, your opponent will also have 2 lands in play, 0 creatures, and 2 cards in hand, assuming they had more or the same number of lands, creatures, and cards before the spell resolved. Well, that's not so bad, right? Everyone just gets equalized. That sounds balanced. And I would agree with you if you were playing this fairly. But what are you, stupid? This is Magic. You don't put a card in your deck because you're going to use it fairly, you dumb idiot. No. Balance says it's balanced, but what it actually means is that this card is Armageddon, Wrath of God, and Mind Twist for 1 and a white mana. Damn, I fucking love this card so much. So, you may have noticed, this card doesn't say anything about enchantments or artifacts. Good eye, dude. I'm sorry I called you an idiot a minute ago. That was rash of me. You're pretty keen. So, since you noticed that, let's talk about it. How you use Balance is by dumping out your hand of Moxen. Fuck, I don't know, maybe an island sanctuary or something? Well, I guess maybe you could cast the Hive for a win condition that only, kind of really sucks. Don't worry about closing the game. We're talking about Balance. And the best or worst case for Balance, depending on which side you are, is having someone not bother with lands, play out a bunch of Moxen and other enchantments, and casting Balance with an empty hand, which will blow up all your lands, empty your hand, and destroy any creatures you may have played out. For 2 mana. Then maybe you get murdered by Wasp tokens, or maybe they have an Atog and some other stuff happens. Who's to say? The point is that even if Balance only hits half your shit, it's incredibly disgusting. I wish this card was legal in Commander. I don't know what their excuse is. It's in 4th edition and cheap as shit. It's not on the reserve list. It's a perfectly balanced card. It's in the name. People out here crying about those dastardly green players with their Farseeks and their 3 visits and their cultivates just sitting there menacingly. All why Balance is unfairly and unjustifiably locked away in a jail cell. Free Balance. And sure, there might be some fallout, but it's probably fine. Remember, the only thing that stops a bad guy with a Balance is a good guy with a Balance. This card should come free with every Commander precon, and as a box topper in every Universes Beyond box. Print this shit into Standard as a proxy to get it into Modern. That's how you save the game that's been dying for 30 years now. I'm sorry, I wrote this script late at night, and I think I'm funny. Fuck you. Balance is a pretty cool card though. I enjoy it. It's stronger than Fast Bond. Even costs a point in Canadian Highlander. Fast Bond could never. But yeah, this shit is banned everywhere other than Vintage, of course. I guess I don't really know what to say about this card that isn't a shitpost other than it's really fucking funny. It's definitely too good. Like, this card is fucking busted. The sickness in me would love to see this shit just wreck Arena though. I think that would be so fucking funny. It's so fucking good. Alpha has so many cracked as fuck cards. It's crazy. I guess it's not crazy. They didn't know how to balance the game yet. Balance. I guess it is important to note that it is a little less good when you remove, like, the Moxen from the equation, but it's still pretty fucked. I wasn't joking about Commander, though. I think this could be legal in Commander, no problem. I mean, it's definitely a game changer, and some people would be fucking mad about it. But, like, I don't I don't think balance is stronger than every other card in legal in the format. You could argue that the play pattern and play experience isn't great, but I don't know. I think it can be. Sure would. I think it would. Would it even stir up CEDH? I think it might. Like, it probably get played in CDH, right? Like, the card's pretty nutso, but to be fair, in CEDH, like, playing things that, like, trip up other people are, like, way less good than just playing a combo as fucking quick as you can. So I don't even know if it would do anything there. It's hard to say. But it would be interesting as hell to find out, right? Fuck yeah, I don't know. Also, for a card that's like banned to fuck everywhere, it sure has seen a lot of reprints. And even has 4 different arts that we can talk about. The original art was illustrated by Mark Poole, and this is straight gas in my opinion. Like 11 out of 10. One of the coolest arts of all time. I can't express how fucking cool this art is. I love it so goddamn much. It's some type of winged great helm with some kind of like Boba Fett visor. It's so damn cool. And the scales, because the card is pretending to be fair and just, you know, you need to make it look good for the camera, right? You'll be like, yeah, it's balanced. See, I got a scale. Yeah, I could glaze this art for days. I'm a big fan of it, but we do have other arts to talk about. The next art first released as a Judge promo in 2004, which is cool because that's the first time I played RuneScape, but that's neither here nor there. This was illustrated by Kev Walker, and the art is fantastic as well. I really appreciate that it's an obvious homage to Poole's work with the winged helm, but the scales are part of a sword, which is really cool, but I don't think a crossguard can function as scales and a crossguard at the same time. I'm definitely like not a scaleologist or a swordologist, so maybe that's incorrect, but it doesn't seem like a good use of either of those tools to me, personally. The art is really fucking sick, though. I think this piece is fantastic. I just prefer the stylized nature of older Magic cards, personally. Like, Mark Poole's original work just brings me so much more joy than this does, but it's a fantastically well done piece of art. The next art is from the vault Exiled, and it's illustrated by Randy Gallegos. I don't know if that's like Randy Gallegos or Randy Gallegos or something. I don't really know this guy's name. Sorry, I'm doing my best here. It's not my favorite. I don't have any criticism or any logical reason I can explain that makes me like it less. Maybe it's just simply because Poole's art is the funny winged helm man, and this is just generic angel. I don't know. It's a solid piece, but it's just not my favorite. Anyway, on to the last art. There was also a secret layer drop, which I'm not usually excited to talk about, but this version of Balance was illustrated by Mark fucking Poole, baby. Look at how far this original gangster has come. This is an objectively beautiful piece, and it has such an awesome story. And you know what? I prefer the first piece. Like, this one and all of them are probably more skilled pieces of art, like just objectively better. But the OG Balance art is so fucking good, dude. It hits so good in my brain space. This is fantastic, though. Mark Poole has developed his craft well since he was an art student 30 years ago. But also, like, no shit, right? His later art was always going to be more technically impressive. Still, it is exciting to see how Mark decided to reinvent this piece almost 30 years after his first take on it. It is spectacular, and an exceptionally well done piece. It's just less funny and more serious, but like that's probably the point. But yeah, Balance. Busted as fuck card, great art, amazing character arc for the artist, and overall just a silly little card that's absolutely hilarious and broken to shit. But that's really all I have to say about Balance. What do you think of Balance? I'd love to hear your perspective in the comments. Other than that, like the video if you liked it, subscribe if you give a shit, but either way, I hope you have a magical day.